Hello everyone, and welcome back to another great episode of Hannah's Cuisines. Today I'm very excited because I'm doing a very special video. This is actually my very favorite dish. We're going to be making a, just lost my thought here, but we're going to be making a cranberry, a parmesan, and fresh pomegranate chutney. And I thought about this idea because my diet is extremely restricted and I cannot have fresh persimmons, and this is the fuyu type of persimmons here. And so I thought, let me make something where I can just have just a tiny little bit where I'm not going to sit there and eat the whole fruit, although I had a really hard time staying away from this beautiful fruit while I was cutting it up. So let's go ahead and review all the ingredients, but before that I'm quickly going to go turn on my stove and add about 2 tablespoons of canola oil. Now, if I had any olive oil at home, I would have used olive oil, but I am out of it. So canola oil is perfectly fine, but you could be very healthy and use just some regular extra virgin olive oil. Now, let's go ahead and review some ingredients before we start assembling it. So here I have, so we had the 2 tablespoons of canola oil that I put into the pan. And then here I have some red pepper flakes. I have some green jalapeno peppers. They're serrano peppers. You can decrease or increase the amount of heat that you want. I made some here which does not have any of the green jalapeno peppers in there, and this is for me. I'm making the second batch for friends of ours, but it's going to be extremely hot. So you can use any type. You can even go ahead and use habaneros if you want. It's really up to you, or leave them out. And then I have here about 4 tablespoons of fresh chopped garlic. I love garlic in this chutney. And the nice thing about this chutney is, you know, you will be able to take out or put in any other ingredients that you like. If you want, you can even add some mangoes in here. I think it would taste awesome. I've got 2 cups of fresh peeled and cut pomegranate seeds right here, and we're going to be throwing all that in here. I have 4 cups of fresh cranberries here, and I've got 4 cups of diced fuyu persimmons. So let's get started. So here we have our oil warming up, and I think it's just at temperature. And the other thing I want to also point out is when you do make this chutney, make sure you use a saucepan or a frying pan or anything, but it has to be like a flat, bigger surface, because if you make it in like a pot, like a smaller, higher pot, it's not gonna all cook properly. Oh, and one of the most ingredients that I did forget is we're gonna be adding a little bit of grape jelly in there. And the reason I use the grape jelly is it has the pectin in there, so it's gonna get really nice and thick, just like this one here. So you can use apricot jelly if you want. You can use any type of jelly. I had some of this grape one sitting around and I use that. And I also like it because it gives the chutney a very nice rich color to it. So our oil is just up to temperature. You just want to be careful. You just don't want it, yep, it's perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add, you know, my pepper flakes, my ginger, and my jalapeno peppers. And my nose is already tickling because I can feel the heat. So we're gonna leave the pomegranates for later, and some of the ginger can sit here. It's fine. So just gonna go ahead, and this is perfect heat. It's not too hot, it's not cold. So what you want to do is you just want to stir this and just want to stir fry this just until you know that, you know, all the really fragrances are released. You know, you're gonna have the serrano peppers and the ginger, you know, get all married up together and have these beautiful flavors and heat coming out. And I can already smell it. It smells fantastic. I just love the smell of ginger. And I'm just gonna stir this up. I'm gonna turn it on high. Turn it off. And turn it on high just so that we can get to where we can add all this other stuff in there. So we're just gonna cook this up just a little bit longer, maybe just about a minute. So this has been frying up for about a minute, and you just want to be careful. You don't want to burn the pepper flakes, you don't want to burn the ginger, but you just kind of want to wait. And when you see that the pepper flakes are changing color, excuse me, this is heat, this is hot. I'm gonna go ahead, let's start adding our ingredients here. So the next thing I'm gonna add in here is our fresh cranberries, and I'm just gonna throw the cranberries in there. Okay. And when I told you that we should, you should make sure you use a flatter pan, this is the reason. You can really get all the ingredients, mixed up really, really well. And you can always make half the batch. The reason why I'm making so much is, I'm going to be sharing this with a lot of friends and family. Also, this can be eaten with mostly anything. You can eat it with just regular pilau. You can eat it with any Chinese dish, Chinese rice. You can eat it with rice and curry dish. So basically, it's a really versatile chutney. And also, the fuyu persimmons are only available during late fall, early winter. So if I'm going to make a big batch, I'm going to go ahead and throw them in the freezer so I can enjoy it all year round. So we're just going to give this a nice even mix here. Look at all those colors. I mean, it's just really fall, just really winter colors. Beautiful, beautiful colors. Okay, after I get all this mixed up, I'm gonna go ahead and throw my pomegranates in here. Now, I also wanted to mention the reason why I add pomegranates in this chutney is because, again, I can't have a lot of pomegranates, but when you're having the chutney and you have this little seed, come in your mouth, and it just tastes so good. It's crunchy, yet it's smooth, it's sweet, yet it's spicy. I can't explain you how beautiful this chutney comes out. It's just, it's actually my absolute favorite. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna leave this for another 10 minutes, and I'm gonna decrease the heat on this. And the other thing you wanna do is also you wanna go ahead and cover it. I'm gonna turn it to about medium-low, and I'm gonna let this get really nice, get this really nice and soft. And then when we come back, we're gonna go ahead and add the grape jelly in there, and then we're gonna still leave it for another 10 minutes. And then after we come back, we're gonna see that the consistency of our chutney is gonna look very much like this. So, it just really smells and looks absolutely beautiful. The other thing I wanted to also make sure that I let you know before I forget is this chutney stays really, really well for about a month in the refrigerator. And I have saved this chutney for 6 to 8 months in the freezer. So why don't we let this get really nice and soft. When we come back, I'm going to show you what it looks like. So here we go. Just wanted to show you what our chutney looks like. It's been about 10 minutes, and you can see that everything is getting really nice and soft. Cranberries have kind of softened up completely, and the pomegranates still have the juice in there, but they're still going to break. So at this point, what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add the jelly in there. And I've made a big quantity here, so I'm going to go ahead and put 1 tablespoon per cup of persimmon that we put in, so about 4 tablespoons. And like I said, this recipe is, you can go ahead and change it up, add more fruits if you like. I think mangoes would be great in this dish. But here we go. Now we're gonna go ahead, mix everything up really well. Again, we're gonna cover it for another 10 minutes. And in those 10 minutes, don't just leave it alone. Excuse me, the heat is really getting to my throat here. But, you know, come every 2 minutes and just kind of stir it. So after 10 minutes, we're gonna come back. I'm gonna show you what it looks like. So at the 5-minute mark, I just want you to see that it's gotten like a little soupy, which is perfectly fine because it's really, really gonna get nice and thick, just like this chutney did. But we're still gonna let this cook up a little bit. And after 5 minutes, I'm gonna see how if it's still soupy, then I'm still gonna leave it on the stove for another 5-10 minutes until, you know, all the water has evaporated and the only thing left is just the chutney. So we're back here. I want you to look at the consistency. This took about 45 minutes. I just kept it on low, just a little bit increased, a little bit above the low, so medium and low, in between medium and low. And I just let it simmer and simmer and simmer until all the liquid evaporated and became really nice and thick, just like a jam or a chutney. So basically I'm gonna shut off the stove now because it's all done. And I did add one thing in there which I wanted to point out was Himalayan rock salt, and I want to show you what it looks like. I bought this Himalayan pink salt and I use it for like my chutneys, I use it for like soups, I use it for like on the table, and I love it. It's the natural salt. Do some research on it. It's really good salt. So this is what I use in just as far as all the other cooking is concerned. I use sea salt. But what I'm going to do now is just take my chutney and I'm going to transfer it in a bowl, so it's going to help it cool down. And once it cools down, I can I'm going to go tomorrow to some dollar stores. I'm going to go pick up some jars and I'm going to fill them up and give them out as gifts. If you didn't want to put it in jars, lots of other ideas. You can even put it in a plastic container like this. Fill them up. They come, you can get them in different sizes. Put a bow on it, or you know, put a ribbon on it, and you're good to go. So this is my mild chutney here. This is gonna be my hot chutney for all my other friends that eat really, really spicy food. So I'm just gonna empty this in here. And like I said, this can be eaten with almost anything. I mean, you'll look for reasons to use this chutney to eat. And one of my very simplest things I like to enjoy this chutney with is just a piece of toast. This is like a sweet toast with a little bit of butter, a cup of tea which is brewing, and a little bit of my chutney, just like so. You're gonna love this chutney. Give it a try. Please send me comments. Tell me what you think. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Rehana's Cuisines. Hope I can see you here next time with another great recipe. See you then, friends.